Okay, so this first video is about verb form. So what the heck is the difference between verb tense and verb form? Well, let's see. Verb tense is what we use when we describe the time in which something is happening. For example, we say, he is walking, which means right now he is walking as we speak. Verb tense also sometimes takes place in the future or in the past. So how's this different from verb form? Verb form means the different parts that we put together to make a correctly formed verb. Okay? So it's talking about not about the time, how the verb affects the time, but how the parts work together. So here's an example. I like learning. Really? I like to learn too. Verb form refers to how do we know if we say learning or to learn, okay? Another example of verb form. Yesterday I to school. Someone might write, yesterday I didn't went to school. This person has the correct tense, right? They have the correct time. It was yesterday and they used didn't. But they do not have the correct form because we never write the past form with didn't. We only use the base form. Okay, so that's kind of the difference between verb tense and verb form. So I'm going to go through several different verb forms on this video, and I will also show you some of the worksheets that we're doing for these. Okay, so here we go. The first one is the verb to be plus a verb plus ing, the present participle. This is a very common verb tense in English. Okay, so when we talk about, we can use this when we talk about things that are happening right now. Example, she is waking up, or he is taking a shower. Okay, we can also use it to talk about past events that were in progress, and instead of using the present be, we use the past. Example, at 6 a.m. she was reading the newspaper. The children were sleeping at 6 a.m. Okay, so these are the present continuous forms. Okay, now we have a special alert with these that are mistakes that people sometimes make. Sometimes people make the mistake as using the ing word only as a main verb. Example, I thinking, or they going to. Okay? Sometimes people make a mistake of using a be verb and a main verb with no ending. Example, we are goes, or he was ask the teacher. Okay? These are both mistakes that we really want to avoid in our writing. Okay? We either want to use the we either want to change it to have a be verb in here, like I am thinking, or they are going. In this one, we want to actually probably remove those be verbs and just use a main verb to describe the situation. Okay? So let's now look at some examples that we have of this from our worksheet. Okay? I had great practice with speaking skills, which is still helping me. What's the problem in this sentence? Okay, the problem is this, helping. Helping here is just an ing verb by itself, acting like a subject, but it doesn't have a be verb, and it doesn't have, and it's not simple present, so it can't just be like that by itself. So we have to say, I had great practice with speaking skills, which still is helping me. Otherwise, we need to change this to is which still helps me. Okay, just the simple present, because that would be a good way to express this idea. You're never going to feel alone. This is the mistake from the first column where they're just using the ing verb as the main verb for the sentence. So we would need to change this. How? We need to add a be verb. So what's the be verb that goes with you? Are. You are never going to feel alone. I always trying to wake up with a smile. In this sentence, one thing we might just say, let's add the be verb. What's the be verb for I am? Okay, is that a good enough way to say it, I am always trying to wake up with a smile, it might be okay. But I think because we have this adverb always, we know it's a general truth. So we could just change this to say, I always try to wake up with a smile. Okay? Because this shows that it's a general truth and it always happens. Let's look at this sentence. The teachers in the USA play another role of support. Okay, here's the problem. Playing another role of support. So again, one choice would be to say are playing, which means the teachers right now in this moment are playing. But probably the better choice would be to make this into a simple present verb. Okay? Okay, let's look at some more examples from the second column that I was showing you of the be verb plus a main verb. Here are some examples. One example was happens with my classmate. The verb problem here is was happens. Okay, was is the past and the simple past. So I think this person is trying to say that something happened, that this was in the past. Okay, so they just put that was in there to try to get that past idea. But a better idea would be to say happened, simple past. Okay, could we also say one example was happening with my classes? Yes, with my classmates, I'm sorry. Yes, we could. But remember, that means it was in progress at a certain time. The basic supports are come from them. Here again, we have that be verb and a main verb. We never, ever, ever want to see that be verb and a main verb without an ending. So we could say the basic supports are coming from them. Or even better, use simple present. The basic supports come from them. Who is love a baby? Who is teach the first lesson about life to a baby? Okay, these verbs are incorrectly formed. Okay, we never have a be verb like is and a main verb like love with no ending. So again, we could say who is loving a baby, but it's much better here to use the simple present. Okay, who loves a baby? And who teaches the first lesson about life to a baby? Okay? They will also provide a teacher who speaks my language. What's the problem here? The problem is were provide. It either we need to say were providing, or we make a simple past statement. They also provided a teacher who speaks my language. Okay? So this is some of the forms, the verb form errors that are with the be verb.